All right, here with head coach McGee Moody. First off, coach, happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
Second off, you guys are ready to get back in the pool after a little break. SEC championships this week. The women head to Athens. Starts on Wednesday, and then next week the men will go up to Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah, this is an entirely new thing for us. One of the great things about the SEC championships that always kind of sets us apart from everyone else is it's combined. And the energy that meet brings is really not like anything else in the country. The meet sells out in minutes, and the teams are combined, men and women, and the energy in the facility is awesome. This year, because of COVID, we're having to change that up. We can't have as many people on the pool deck. We obviously can't have spectators. So we are splitting the meets. The women's going to be in Athens. The men are headed out to Columbia, Missouri next week. And so this is entirely new for everybody. The coaches are adjusting their training. They're adjusting the rest because we can't bring them all down together. It's got to be at two separate times based on when our women are racing and when our men are racing. Our divers are out in Missouri now. They've already headed out there and getting ready to compete here in a couple of days. So there's a lot of different things going on. But the bottom line is we're excited because August and September, we didn't know if this was actually going to be able to happen. We didn't know how logistically we would do it. We didn't know if we could do it safely. And there's been a lot of coaches, a lot of administrators at the SEC level and at the university level that have worked really hard to put together the logistics and the ideas and the principles around which we were going to operate over the next 2 weeks to make these championships go off and to really set the tone for the rest of the country. Because we have a lot of conferences watching us to see how we do this and see if we can do it successfully. And it's my hope that the NCAA also takes a look at our conference meet and sees that we can do this safely and successfully and take some notes from what we're doing and put that into their operations as well. So there's a lot of responsibility on our conference this week. The eyes of the swimming world will be on us, and that's just the way we like it.
How much of a grind is this competition? You got swims in the morning, swims at night. Just talk a little bit about the grind that this competition is.
Well, we are the only, typically in a normal year, we're the only conference championship that goes for 4.5 days. Most other conference championships are 3.5 days, and we do that to put our athletes in the best position to qualify for NCAAs. That additional day allows us to split the events up a little bit more. This year we're shortening it because of COVID, and so. It is a grind, and honestly the energy level is so high that it's emotionally it's as draining as physically it is draining. So I know that when the coaches finish up that meet, we're exhausted and we don't have to race. So the emotional, the stress, the anxiety, all that coupled into one tires out the coaches, but then you add the physical component on top of it, and the athletes are under an immense amount of strain for 4 and 5 days. And so we've prepared them for that, and I believe their training this year has been good. It's been different because of COVID, but I believe we're where we need to go be successful. So we're excited to go, and I know, like I said, I know our women are ready. I know our men are ready, and we're just ready to get there and race. At this point, Bear Bryant used to say the hay's in the barn. There's not a lot of work left to do. We're just going to race. So the sooner we can get on the bus and get on the plane, the happier we'll be.
There's that old saying, if you want to be the best, you got to compete against the best. How good is this conference in the pool?
It's the best in the country. The top end times are faster than anybody else. And when you look at the depth, places 1 to 24, there's no one else in the country that's remotely close to us. The times that it takes, you have to be an elite level athlete just to score a point in this conference. Let alone be a top-level athlete in the conference. So, that's why people come into this conference. That's why coaches come into this conference, is to go and to compete against the best in the world. And there was, just to tell you a story, this is probably 2012 and 2016. We've had this both times. 2012, there was one final heat at our SEC championships that did not have one Olympian in it. Every event we had an Olympian in that event. One event, the men's 200 freestyle, every man in the final except for one was an Olympian. So it is true. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and you got to go through this conference to do it. So that's what gets everybody fired up. That's why we wake up every morning.
On the women's side, what are your expectations, and who are a couple of student athletes that come to mind?
I think the expectations this year, they've been so fluid just because, you don't know what to expect. We have our goals. We know what we want to accomplish. But you know what? I want to see our girls go out there, and I want to see them race hard. I want to see them compete. I want to see them work through the race execution like we've talked about all year. I want to see smiles on their faces. I want to see them have fun. That's our expectation. The placing will take care of itself. But we've got to go into it with confidence, and we've got to go into it knowing that we've put in the work that needed to be done. As far as folks were excited to see, I think right off the bat, I think Taylor Steele, one of our top returning athletes. I'm really excited to see her race in the breaststroke events. I'm excited to see some of our freshmen get to step up in a rested environment and race. So I think we're in a great place with that. I think some of our senior leaders are ready to go race hard. Mari Krause, I'm excited to see her swim her backstroke event. So there's a number of girls that I think are ready to break out. And then I think there's a number of girls that have entered our program this year that are going to make a statement, and their names are going to become kind of staples in our conference for years to come. So I think we're in a good place. We're ready to go.
Now, switching over to the men's side next week, what are your expectations there, and who are a couple student athletes that you're expecting big things from?
The same. Our expectations are the same. We want to go out there. We want to race. We want to compete. We want to win events. Wherever we can win events, we want to put as many guys back in A finals. We want our relays. We go out there every year with the intention of our relays making NCAAs, and our sprint relays have great opportunities to do that. So multiple events. I'm excited to see Rafa Davia race. He took an Olympic red shirt last year, and he's back racing with us this year. I'm excited to see him go swimming his mile. He's one of the fastest milers returning in the country. And the last time he raced in this conference meet, he won a bronze medal in the mile. So I'm excited about that. I want to see Phil Costin race, A.J. Ross. I want to see our sprinters go, March Spurkin, Guy Gropper. I want to see our freshmen be able to stand up and establish themselves. Tomas Novosath, I think he's going to have a great meet. Tomas has been right on that verge for the last 3 years, and I think he's in a place right now where he's happy, he's confident, and I think he's going to have a breakout meet, and I'm excited for that. He deserves it. He deserves a great meet. So there's so many things that go into this, and to be honest, there's so much more than just times for this year with these athletes. It's what they've had to go through. We had a meeting with our women a few days ago, and I just told them how proud I was of them because they've had to do something that no other athletes have ever had to do this. They've never had to literally live in a bubble like our kids have had to live, not just swimming, but all of our athletes. And so there's a level of accomplishment in just being able to dive off the blocks at this meet because nobody knew if we were going to be able to do that. So there's the pride that our staff has for them and in them going into this meet is really hard to put into words just because they've sacrificed so much to get to this level. I don't think the general public quite understands like what they have to do. We joke about COVID tests. We got kids that have taken 2 today. 2. I don't even know why they have to take a second one, but they've taken a second one today. They've sacrificed a lot. So I just wish, I hope everybody that follows Gamecock Athletics understands that because they've been through a lot.
We appreciate the time, Coach. Safe travels these next couple weeks, and best of luck.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.